copy. That's where Elevenlabs comes in. And there's a number of different options. I'm logged into my own account here, but obviously we have the station account that works just the same way. In fact, I think it's the exact same tier. And there's a couple of different ways that you can use Elevenlabs to generate your voice. First is the text-to-speech, which is not my favorite, but it works well. So let's take the copy that Ben had cranked out here for Tacos El Cabron. And you can just copy that. Over in Elevenlabs, off to the left under Playground is where you're going to find your options where if you want to go text-to-speech, that's what we're doing now, or voice changer, which is what I've brought up before when talking about Elevenlabs, where you actually will record yourself or one of the DJs can record for you the copy, and then when you put it into Elevenlabs, you upload that voice file, it's going to change it into the voice that you select. You get better inflection and better delivery. It sounds more natural when you do it that way. Having said that, let's drop Ben's copy into the text-to-speech. Now, I've got a couple of voices that are customized in my Elevenlabs account that I've spent a lot of time kind of perfecting. One of them is Paul. One of them is Pat Garrett, who is our voiceover guy on Hot 100. And the reason for that is that we have run into a number of issues with Pat delivering copy on time, being sober, but he's got the most beautiful voice in the business. So I've spent a lot of time kind of dialing in Pat Garrett's voice. And when you do that, you start out by uploading a bunch of dry voice. I think you can upload up to 30 minutes. The more you upload, the better your original turnout is going to be. So like, let's say, Dina, you're worried about, say you do a bunch of spots every week. You don't want to miss out on cutting commercials when you're sick. You can upload a bunch of your own dry voice and then start dialing in your voice so that if that happens, and I've done this before, you can crank out copy in your voice. Oh, well, and there are, I think it's iHeart, all of iHeart's midday shows now in any major market, it's all generated, which I don't necessarily agree with, but Mhm. Yep. hmm Yeah. So we'll use Pat Garrett, and again, there's a ton of different voices that you can pick from that are in the library. We'll go over that here in a moment. What's that? Oh, yeah, sure. So first, I call Pat Garrett Gat Parrot on my account. So we'll say, Gat Parrot, generate this speech. Takes just a minute.
Craving real Mexican flavor that hits different? Then it's time to level up your taco game at Tacos El Cabron, Twin Falls' go-to spot for mouth-watering street-style Mexican food. Located at 1317 Blue Lakes, Tacos El Cabron is where bold flavor meets authentic tradition. From juicy carne asada and sizzling al pastor to perfectly grilled chicken and savory birria, every bite is straight-up fire. Fresh ingredients. Made to order, no shortcuts. Whether you're grabbing lunch, dinner, or a late night bite, we've got you covered with tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and more. And don't forget the sauces. Yeah, they bring the heat. So if you're hungry for something real, something bold, something sabroso, swing by Tacos El Cabron at 1317 Blue Lakes in Twin Falls. Tacos El Cabron. Not your average taco.
Yeah. On the right side of your screen, that's where you can kind of dial it in. Like if I want to be a little faster with that read, then Instead of 1.0, let's try 1.15. And then if you want more exaggeration, if you want him to spend more time with punctuation, you can come down here and go style exaggeration and turn that up a little bit. Now, there comes a point where it's going to be too much. Like the warning it just popped up is over 50% may lead to instability. And that's where you're going to end up with all sorts of weird sounds and stuff like that.
You know what I do block I will have a cut to it. Sometimes they'll usually do a good job on one part and a weird job on the second. And if you got 2 or 3 different ways to put them together, they sound fantastic. And the other thing is, after you cut out all the spaces, it sounds a lot more natural.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're just generating the voice. It still has to go into Adobe and become, a commercial through production. And we'll regenerate that now with the settings that I just changed, so you can kind of hear the difference.
Craving real Mexican flavor that hits different? Then it's time to level up your taco game at Tacos El Cabron, Twin Falls' go-to spot for mouth-watering street-style Mexican food. Located at 1317 Blue Lakes, Tacos El Cabron is where bold flavor meets authentic tradition. From juice.
So, what if instead of Pat, we want Paul to read it?
Craving real Mexican flavor that hits different? Then it's time to level up your taco game at Tacos El Cabron, Twin Falls' go-to spot for mouth-watering street-style Mexican food. Located at 1317 Blue Lakes, Tacos El Cabron is where bold flavor meets authentic tradition. From juicy carne asada and sizzling al pastor to perfectly grilled chicken and savory birria, every bite is straight-up fire. Fresh ingredients made to order, no shortcuts. Whether you're grabbing lunch, dinner, or a late-night bite, we've got you covered with tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and more. And don't forget the sauces. Yeah, they bring the heat. So if you're hungry for something real, something bold, something sabroso, swing by Tacos El Cabron at 1317 Blue Lakes in Twin Falls. Tacos El Cabron, not your average taco.
And then we can do the same thing there and, adjust speed and style exaggeration. We won't get into that. Going to what Paul was asking about, where if you want to generate your own voice, here under voices is where you create your own. So let's say add a new voice, and then I'm not going to actually do it, but this is where you would either sit here and record. You can do that by in real time by just reading a BS script or something like that into your computer. If you want to go instant voice clone, that's the one that I've used for Paul and for Pat. That's where you're actually uploading dry voice. And again, I think you can upload up to 30 minutes. You have to upload at least 2, but somewhere between 2 and 30, the more you upload, the more natural it's going to come out initially, the less you're actually going to have to dial it in. Now, let's say we want to find somebody who has like a Mexican Spanish accent to read that copy. Well, I don't have any of those in my account, but if you come into the voices, yeah. What's that? Memo. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. So let's go back to text to speech. Now, under voice, I thought it was there. Sorry about that. Change this. Where did that prompt go? What am I doing here, Ben? Oh, right here. So you go professional. Memo Latin. Yep. Okay, so let's pick him. So he's what's called a premium voice. The only thing that's going to do is charge us double the credit. If you see here down on the bottom of the screen, I think we start out with like 300,000 credits a month. So even if they're going to take double the credit, it's not a big deal. I think it's 1 credit per word, isn't it? Yeah. So let's use memo. Add to my voices. And they have kids, they have elderly people, they have teenagers, they have a New York accent. I mean, there's a ton of different voices in this thing.
I put in all the different characteristics. They gave me 3 voices to pick from. And it was phenomenal. And I actually used that same voice on
I know it sounded good. They liked their mouth.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an AI generated.
She said she didn't understand what it said, but
She
she said it sounded good. He could have told me anything. She was like, sounds good.
I don't know if it added it or if it didn't. Okay, so now that we've added memo to our library, we can generate the speech using memo's voice.
Craving real Mexican flavor that hits different? Then it's time to level up your taco game at Tacos El Cabron, Twin Falls' go-to spot for mouth-watering street-style Mexican food. Located at 1317 Blue Lakes, Tacos El Cabron is where bold flavor meets authentic tradition. From juicy carne asada and sizzling al pastor to perfectly grilled chicken and savory birria, every bite is straight up fire. Fresh ingredients, made to order, no shortcuts. Whether you're grabbing lunch, dinner, or a late night bite, we've got you covered with tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and more. And don't forget the sauces. Yeah, they bring the heat. So if you're hungry for something real, something bold, something sabroso, swing by Tacos El Cabron at 1317 Blue Lakes in Twin Falls. Tacos El Cabron, not your average taco.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take off, guys.
Okay, see you later. So, and you can, like, let's say, and we don't have to, because I already showed you how that worked, but let's say I want to speed memo up a little bit, and I want to pull back from his exaggeration so it's not quite as much. So you adjust your settings, and then when you click regenerate speech, you can do that twice for no additional credits. And then once it is where you want it, you can download it. That's where you pop it into Adobe and produce the spot. Now, let's go into Voice Changer, which is what I was talking about, where you get more of a natural read because you're actually uploading yourself reading copy. And I'm just going to go in and find myself some Rocky Mountain flooring copy, because I have plenty of that in Dry Voice. Yep. Well, here, yeah, let's just do that. Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest. So I got to enable the microphone first. And then we'll go start. Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest soup on the planet. Details coming soon. So then you hit stop. You can listen to your original recording. Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest soup on the planet. Details coming soon. Now, let's say we want Memo to read that. Same setup over here on the right. You go generate speech.
Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest soup on the planet. Details coming soon.
And see how it pulled my inflection, my delivery, and it'll do that with any voice. And so if you want a kid to say it, you can find children's voices and stuff like that. Yeah. That's the two things that you'll need is text-to-speech and voice changer. Those are the only two things that I use. Exactly. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, it never shuts up. It's fine. Oh, I thought you were talking about my phone. Yeah, he never shuts up.
I was just making sure.
Grim. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, I guess that's how 11 Labs works. I'll put together a quick little one sheet for you, like Ben did on ChatGPT. But between those two resources, I mean, we've opened up a whole new world of opportunity in both copywriting and in production. So, hmm
Now I could actually. That doesn't sound.
yeah. Well, let's.
I'm loaded up. Apparently I will charge for that.
Yeah, let's have Paul read what I just did.
Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest.
See, and that's where you gotta dial it back if it's too much. So that was way too exaggerated. So you pull down exaggeration, more stability, lower down similarity, and then regenerate.
Coming this Friday to Idaho Joe's in Twin Falls, the greatest soup on the planet. Details coming soon.
But again, that's where we have to go in and really kind of dial it in, and eventually you'll find the sweet spot. And apparently, Paul got kicked in the nuts about halfway through that read. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. And again, I've recorded both Ben's part of this and my part of this, and so I'll send it out as a video this afternoon. And I'll get you a quick little one sheet on 11 Labs. And if you want some one-on-one, if you're trying to dial in a voice or something like that, call me or just stop into the studio, whatever. I'm happy to help.